So a few things about this up front, some things that we've learned. Obviously there's some health concerns about this, and that is there's a lot of dust, there's a lot of drop down things, it's a messy job. So if you have health concerns or if you're not sure, you might want to hire a professional. If you think it's a small space, you can take care of it yourself, definitely mask up. Use a ventilator mask, use a dust mask, make sure you're getting out and getting air and you're getting some good oxygen and taking your breaks. Secondly, and probably one of our regrets when we first moved into our house, is that if we'd known kind of what a job this was and how messy it is and how time consuming it is, it's one of those things we probably would have done as soon as we moved into our house. Okay, so now down to the details of how we did our ceiling. So first of all, this is more of the destruction side of things and it's very messy, so it was pretty much one of the first things that we did. What we've learned is that, through YouTube videos especially, is that it needs to be a little bit wet and you need a good scraper, and you're gonna have to take it off, but you can't get it too wet or you will damage the ceiling. So if it's too dry, it's gonna be hard to get off. If it's too wet, you can damage your ceiling. You really have to work to figure out the right consistency. So we got a big spray bottle, got a ladder, got up there, started spraying, and we kind of went in small sections. Spray, let it soak a little bit, scrape it off, make sure it's nice and smooth. And we had tarped some things we just left, and then we used a shop vac to clean up. So always keep that in mind, it's gonna be pretty messy. Cleaned it off section at a time, double checked it. We would kind of tag team on it so that we could double check each other's work, look for good spots, and again, being very careful not to damage the ceiling. Once we got all that cleaned off, then we applied a new texture. Now we did a spray-on texture, which when you first do it, looks just like popcorn, but then you can lay it flat with your scraper. So there is a special scraper you can get that goes along with this too that makes it much easier, so you don't have to lay it completely flat, you can do it at an angle. So you spray, kind of lay it flat, you can't, again, it's one of those balances. If you push it too hard, it's just gonna look like paint on the ceiling. If you don't do enough, it's gonna start looking like popcorn. So it's that beautiful in-between balance. So once you get that texture the way you like it, let that dry, and then you can apply paint. Obviously, whatever paint you want. If you want a different colored ceiling, we went with the same basic matte that we had on the walls here. So that way we kind of had this seamless look that goes straight from the floor to the ceiling. So that's the story of how we did the ceiling in our bathroom remodel, as well as just a few tips about doing popcorn ceilings. So if you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe because there are more videos floating around and coming out about our bathroom remodel and some tips, tricks, and even regrets about this process. So make sure you watch for those, like, share, subscribe, and you can also check us out on Instagram at Home Veneer. Thanks, guys.